Hi, Dr. Scott Jensen here. One of my life lessons when I was growing up in Sleepy Eye, Minnesota was from my father. Don't promise what you can't deliver. My first patient this morning had conjunctivitis or inflammation of the eyelids because of some of the haze that has been coming from the Canadian fires drifting southward. My last patient of the day had allergic conjunctivitis. In between, I saw patients with asthma flaring. You may have seen over the last few days cities shrouded in a yellowish gray haze coming from fires in Canada drifting southward. What kind of response are people being given as to what they can do?
Don't breathe the air. The air is bad.
Well, let me tell you. One of the responses was wear a mask.
The compromise? For some, reaching for those masks again.
I could smell it. I still have this, but you could smell a scent.
Even with a mask, Cheryl had a tough time walking the dogs, and she wasn't alone.
Did you get that? We've got asthmatics. We've got people suffering from allergic conjunctivitis. Wear a mask to stop this haze. Wouldn't it be nice to have some research, some data that would tell us that wearing a mask does it? Because I would submit to you that I would tell my patients, don't go into that environment. Stay in an air-conditioned environment, because a mask, a porous 3-ply surgical or cotton mask, will not stop you from being exposed to those particulate matter that are in the air and are going to get in your lungs and could trigger an asthmatic attack. They are not going to stop the breathing in of that particulate matter that will go into your nose and conceivably up your nasolacrimal ducts into your eyes. If you think that wearing a mask is going to protect you from the adverse impacts of what's coming down from the Canadian fires, you're wrong. You're being led down the wrong path. Someone is promising you something that can't deliver. Does that sound familiar? For 3 years, were you not told that if you wear a mask, you won't get the disease, you won't transmit the disease, you won't be guilty of killing grandma? Wouldn't it be nice if we had the kind of scientific body of information where when someone gave you a recommendation and they were in a position to make such a recommendation, that they were really going to deliver on what they promised? Because at the end of the day, if you promise someone something you can't deliver, so very often you harm them. You put them in harm's way. They get diseases you said they wouldn't get. They get exposures to particulate matter you said they wouldn't get exposed to, and they could die of an asthmatic attack because they thought that as long as they wore a mask in a yellow, gray, haze-filled city, they would be okay. Well, they're not. They would be best protecting themselves in an air-conditioned environment. And even that isn't any kind of ironclad guarantee. But I'll tell you this. Wouldn't it be nice if people would stop promising what they can't deliver?